Hey guys, welcome to the second part of my 4-step framework to grow online. If you have not yet checked the first part of this video, you can click the card above and you can check it out. But I would suggest that you watch this video till the end and then check that video out, and you can find the link to that video in the description down below. To quickly sum up what we talked about in the first video, we talked about the core technical aspect of the content creation game and the 4 important elements that you need to keep in your mind so you actually create result-driven content and do not create content just for the sake of it, okay? At the end of the day, social media and the content creation game is about you getting results for the efforts that you're putting in. If you're just creating content for the sake of it, there is no sense of creating content. You're just wasting your time. And that is exactly what we talked about in the first part of this video. This part of the video is an addition to the last video that I created, but if you have not watched that part yet, you do not have to worry, because the framework that I'm about to tell you in this video can be independently applied to your content creation game in order to boost your growth online. So make sure you smash that like button and you watch this video till the end. Let's do it. Okay, so the first step of the framework is experimentation. You have to make sure that you're experimenting with your content very frequently. Let's assume that you're creating one type of content today and you have been creating that type of content, that format of content from a long period of time. And if you're not experimenting with your content, regardless of what results you're getting, you are not working smartly. You are not creating content smartly. You have to make sure that you're experimenting with your content every now and then. As a creator, what you have to do is you have to figure out what content format is unique to you. What is your own style? What is your own unique way? What type of videos are unique to you, such that when someone unknown watches your content online, they quickly recognizes you that, okay, this type of content is coming from that particular creator. Even if you're not showing your face, that is a place where you want to be at. You have to find your own uniqueness, and it is only possible when you frequently experiment with your content. What happens with experimentation is you get at a point where you end up creating a piece of content that nobody is creating online. You have to get at that place. You have to aim for that. And if you can do that, you just stand apart. You stand aside from the competition and you get a lot more exposure and hence a lot more reach. Moving on to the second step of the framework, it is consistency. Now this step is connected to the first step. Consistency is connected with experimentation. So when I told you guys that you need to experiment with your content online, you have to experiment with your content online consistently for a significant period of time. You cannot pick one format of content, create that format of content, post it online for 5 days and then change your content and then run a new experiment. That is not how you should approach it. You should pick one format or one style of content and you have to post that content for a significantly longer period of time until you gather enough data. Let's say you've been posting one format of content for only 5 days. You do not have enough data in order for you to figure out if this format of content is working for you or not, if this experiment is successful or not. Okay, so make sure that you're very consistent with your content, with your experiment, and you're actually posting that type of content that you selected as your experiment for long enough so you gather enough data, and then you can use the data to analyze if that content is working for you or not. Okay guys, so moving on to the third step of the framework, it is feedback. Once you figured out a particular format of content and you have been consistent with that particular format of content, the next step is that you need to take feedback on that content. You have posted, let's say, for next 30 days in that particular format of content on all the social media platforms. Now you have to sit down with yourself. You have to track your data. You have to see what people are reacting to and how they are reacting to that particular piece of content. How many likes are you getting? How many comments are you getting? How many saves are you getting? How many shares are you getting? And all those kind of things. How many reach are you getting? How many profile visits are you getting from a particular post? You have to sit down and track everything, and you have to ask yourself, what is that one action that means the most to you and to your business? And you have to optimize for that particular action. Okay, you just cannot create content for likes when in reality your goal and the KPI that you are chasing, the key performance indicator that you are chasing as a personal brand or as a business, is followers. Okay, so you have to pay attention to that, and you have to track your data sincerely after you have run your experiment for long enough. Without tracking your data, without taking feedback, without optimizing on that feedback, you are going nowhere. Because if you cannot track your data, if you cannot take proper feedback, there is no sense of creating content, because you are just creating content in the air. There is no aim that you have. You do not have a place that you want to go. So once you have a clear key performance indicator, a clear action that you want people to take, you have to optimize for that, right? And that is why feedback is extremely important. You cannot skip the feedback step of this framework. I see a lot of people online who are like, your job is to create content and publish it online. You do not have to worry about the engagement that you're getting. You do not have to worry about the number of likes you're getting. Well, you do not have to worry about it. Is not a proper context and it is not the whole story. You do not have to worry about it and you don't have to feel bad about getting less likes or less comments, okay? But you have to pay attention to the metrics. You have to optimize your content in order to get better metrics, because else how are you going to grow? And if you cannot optimize, you're just not going to grow, and there is no sense in this world of creating content. You can be cool and you can tell yourself content creator, but I don't know what you're doing, because at the end of the day, you need to generate leads for your business. You need to monetize your audience, because as a creator, you have your bills to pay, right? So take feedback and then optimize accordingly, which is the last step of this particular framework, which is optimize, right? So to summarize everything, you decide which type of content you want to run experiment on. Next step is that you are consistent with your experiment. You are showing up every day and you're creating and posting those formats of content every day. The next step was to take feedback. You see actually how your audience or your potential customers are reacting to your content, right? And the final step is optimization, right? Now you have to sit down and to figure out what type of content have actually worked for me. Okay, so let's say you have been running experiment with 2 content. Okay, now one particular piece of content is getting a lot of engagement, a lot of comments, a lot of saves, a lot of followers, and the second one is not. In that case, you need to eliminate the content that is not working for you, and you need to pick the content format which is working for you, and you need to go all in on it, right? You have to continue creating that content for long enough, maybe for the rest of the time when that content keep working for you, right? Now this is not where you just stop. Okay, you have already figured out one winner unicorn piece of content. The next step is optimization. So you take this winning piece of content and you figure out other 2 things, other 2 different formats of content that you want to run experiment on. So now you have 3 different formats, pieces, or different type of content formats that you want to run experiment on, right? Now you pick these 3 pieces of content and you run experiment again. You go to the entire loop once again, and at the end of it, you will again figure out what content is working for you. And slowly and gradually, you will reach at a place where you will be comfortable creating a particular piece of content, and you will also be getting results out of that particular piece of content, depending upon what your goals are as a personal brand or as a business, right? And that is why optimization is important. You just cannot take one piece of content, sit down and create that piece of content for the rest of your life. That is not how it is going to work, because marketing, specifically digital marketing, is a very fast moving industry. A lot of things are getting introduced every day. A lot of different features are getting introduced by different social media platforms, because everybody is fighting for attention. Everybody wants to make money, right? So you have to optimize on a day-to-day basis. And the entire framework that I've just told you, go on and on. You cannot skip any step, because if you skip any step, you are just, breaking the chains. And if you break the chains, you are going to go nowhere, because you are not creating content for growth. In that case, you're creating content just for the sake of creating content, because everybody around you is creating content, right? And that is something that I do not wish for you. I want you to be a smart creator. I want you to pay attention to things that really matter, that will really help you get those results that you need in order to move ahead as a creator or as an entrepreneur. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please smash the like button. If you are watching me for the first time, subscribe to the channel. And if you have not watched the first part of this video, click the card above over here or check the link in the description of this video to check that video out, because I think that is even more technical framework that you need to keep in mind if you are creating content in 2021 and beyond. That is all for this video. I will see you guys in my next video.